Crew Gary, M1 Science and Technology. My email is gary@pineyrockhighschool.ac.th. Today we'll discuss the curriculum, talk about online resources, discuss samples of student work, discuss grading, and talk about the homework policy. And we want to reassure you that during the new normal, the class is pretty much the same as when we were at school. We just do a lot of online activities, do a lot of virtual labs, and we still do labs at home also. Unit 1, Scientific Method, deals with Introduction to Science, Lab Safety, Scientific Method, and Scientific Equipment. So this is the part where the student will learn how to think like a scientist, and they do experiments, and we show them what science is really about.
Looks like an ordinary city, but looks can be deceiving. All of us are surrounded by things
like when you flip a bottle, that it might not come upright, and what's going to happen. That when you do the egg lab and you're comparing it to something else, what are dependent variables and independent variables? What are we testing for? And we get them to think about science and the fact that sometimes there's no wrong answer. You just got to figure out what happened. Unit 2, solids, liquids, and gases. They'll talk about states of matter, and we discuss the particle model and diffusion. We talk about solids, liquids, and gases in terms of the molecules involved, and we show the students what it looks like and how they interact. Unit 3 deals with heat transfer, and we talk about heat energy, convection, radiation, conduction, measuring temperature, heat transfer, cooling by evaporations. We do like a freezing point depression lab at home, and we try to discuss how things are in class, in their home, and in real life. Properties of solutions. We just deal with classification of matter, solubility, we'll talk about concentration, and separating solutions. We'll talk about how to find an unknown product. Like if I give you a sample, how would you separate it on one level with filtering and physical properties, and then on a second level, chromatography and distillation, chemical properties. Unit 5 is acid and bases. They'll learn about properties of acid and bases, the pH scale, measuring acidity, acid and bases in our lives. Here are numerous online resources we use. Our PowerPoints are from BoardWorks and other locations. I like to do simulations like PHET. I like to use videos from YouTube, Google Forms, and Blogger and Quizzes. Here's an example of one of our home labs. We're doing a freezing point depression. Grade breakdown for term 1. The student's grade is compiled from the following assessments: unit tests and quizzes, followed up by labs, virtual and home labs. And then we had a big project where we had to do a presentation.
One of the big things for M1 is we really got to teach them how to do their things. And so a big key is to make sure we have clear rubrics. And so we go over rubrics on how to make a presentation, content, delivery, organization, creativity, length of presentation. And we show them examples of how to do that. Another thing that helps is we talk to them about how to make a proper PowerPoint. And we also create a rubric for proper PowerPoint, content, slide creation, slide transitions, picture clip art, mechanics. The key is having rubrics is like a checklist for students to really learn how to do the work at a high level.
Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation. Today we are going to talk about heat and energy, measuring temperature, heat transfer, and cooling by evaporation.
And later we'll do a science debate where they'll have to defend a scientific term, positive or negative. We give them homework in the form of reading assignments for vocabulary and to improve their reading and comprehension of the English. The homework policies, well, students will be reminded that missing work, if the work is more than 1 week late, it's 50% off the grade, and if it's more than 2 weeks late, it will get 0.